Hello, 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 hello. What is going on, mother cluckers? Welcome back to another video where I'm actually speaking in person in front of a camera. I know, it's been a long time since I've done this, but you don't care about that. Can't even remember the last time I actually spoke on camera. Has to have been before the pandemic. Has to be. Regardless, you may notice something different, nor that I doubt that you care. But if you read the title of this video, then you know what this is about. This is about Marvel Tokon. And I've been keeping a very close eye on it. I have been very intrigued with its gameplay, and it looks very interesting, and I might get it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sold on it. But yeah, it looks very interesting, and the roster of characters is, some of them I'm like, oh, of course they were in it, and some were actually genuinely surprising. Like the whole what's the word I'm trying to look for? The whole idea, that the devs were going with this by choosing those characters was, what characters haven't been in a fighting game before? Specifically a Marvel fighting game. But yeah, there's only one character that I'm like, really? That one? Why? And that's Danger Room being made into a character, even though it was a place, not a person. But regardless, with all of the characters now been revealed, there are 20 in the base roster, and everyone, like myself, is probably already guessing and trying to come up with the best options for DLC, because let's face it, there's going to be DLC characters in this game, and if it does well, I imagine there's going to be a lot down the line, and most likely they're going to be releasing full-on teams, which means 4 DLC characters in like a season. That's at least the idea that I have in my head, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with that. But yeah, I have a list here of characters that I, A, would love to see in a fighting game, B, majority of them have never been in a Marvel fighting game before, and 3, just, I started out like I had a third, but I pretty much covered the whole thing. It's characters that I want to see in the game, and characters that I believe have never been in a Marvel fighting game before. And yeah, this is the list. I'm gonna try to go through it as quickly as possible. I may ramble, because that's what I've been known to do. But yeah, let's just jump into it, shall we? The first one, to me, is a must. This entire game is a 4v4 tag fighter, and what better team to be added to a 4v4 tag fighter than the Fantastic Four? I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, Miss Marvel's already in the game, and it's already a character with stretchy powers, so how can you have 2 and have them feel unique and different compared to one another? And I think it's possible. I don't exactly remember Miss Marvel's gameplay all that much. But if I remember correctly, I believe she was more in the mid range to longer range slightly. Yeah, you'll have to forgive that. But yeah, I mean, I'm thinking more like, Miss Marvel has a decent amount of range, but you could have Mr. Fantastic have like Axel from Guilty Gear range, or Dhalsim from Street Fighter range, but not have that be his entire kit. I mean, when you go down the line of the Fantastic Four, they fit the ideal team of fighting game characters, like the specific archetypes. Like Reed is the, the long range kind, not zoner, but like long reach, kind of bouncing around, hitting you from multiple angles type of character. Sue can be the all-arounder, where she is good up close, mid, or far range. Ben is just a brawler slash grappler that could easily control the fighting environment, and Johnny can just be a flying zoner if they wanted to go that route. But from what I've seen, they haven't really had a character that's strictly zoning, at least from all the characters that have been revealed thus far. But that team fits so well, and I unfortunately have seen like people post on Twitter saying that Miss Marvel is more interesting than Mr. Fantastic, and that's, in my opinion, not the case. I mean, the only problem with the Fantastic Four not getting its flowers that the team so rightfully deserves is because, they were put in this dynamic where they were popular like long before, because if you look back at the classic Marvel cartoons, you had X-Men, you had Spider-Man, you had the Fantastic Four, and you had the Hulk. And since then, it feels like the Fantastic Four has kind of been phased out and pushed to the side, while other characters like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, characters that used to be like on C tier or lower of being unknown characters, have now rise to the top rankings of characters, mainly because of the MCU. But the Fantastic Four has been around for so long. I mean, so many characters had their first appearance in Fantastic Four comics, like Silver Surfer, like Galactus, characters that have become fan favorites because of the Fantastic Four. And it's Marvel's first family. Of course, you gotta put them in a 4v4 tag fighter. I have no doubt in my mind that the developers could have Miss Marvel and Mr. Fantastic be in the game as two stretchy people and be completely different play-wise. That being said, I don't think Miss Marvel is a bad choice. I think she does fit the fighting game dynamic, and she is also a Marvel character that has never been in a fighting game before. But the Fantastic Four is in that same boat, so I would love to see them. And I'll buy it on the spot if they're like the first team that gets added as DLC. Anyway, long rant ending now. The next team is the Defenders, which I think would be fantastic because, again, you have a group of people, at least the people that I have on the list here, people that also fit the mold of a specific fighting archetype to a T. You have Daredevil, and one thing that I should have brought up is the order that I'm listing these characters is like team leader and then other members. So Daredevil being the team leader, and then Luke Cage being in there, and Jessica Jones, and then instead of Iron Fist, I put Hawkeye. Before you start, typing in the comments about like what you're gonna not include Iron Fist, let me tell you why. There's two reasons why that I decided to go against putting Iron Fist in the game. One, Iron Fist has already been in a Marvel fighting game. I know Hawkeye has too, but Hawkeye has been in the Defenders before in the comics. And there is another character on this list that I feel should be in it because he has never been in a Marvel fighting game before, and we will get to that later. But again, I was going for, I guess in my mind, was trying to come up with a team that had everything. You have Daredevil, who can be in your face, boxer, fighting you fist to fist, face to face, but also be like a mid-range with his bully clubs. Then you have Luke Cage, who can be another grappler slash brawler type, just being the tank of the group. Jessica Jones could easily be the same, and you can give her her flight ability in the comics, or if you want to stay true to the MCU, you can give her her super jump and all that. And then you have Hawkeye, who could be a straight up zoner with his arrows. So I don't know, you can hate the choice, don't hate the choice. We're gonna move on. The next team I have here is Secret Warriors. Now, Secret Warriors is a team that was led by Daisy Johnson, aka Quake, and it's mainly comprised of other Inhumans. And lately, when it comes to Marvel games, we're not seeing that much Inhuman representation. There's a reason behind that. The main reason is, I don't remember the exact reasoning, but Marvel has a petty beef with the creators of the Inhumans. And so that is why the Inhumans do not really get that much love. It also does not help that the Inhumans TV show was terrible. But we did get a little representation recently in Multiverse of Madness with Black Bolt, and I'm hoping that that's just the beginning, because while Miss Marvel is an Inhuman in the comics, the MCU made her a mutant, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that, mainly because while you think about it, the mutants and the Inhumans are kind of similar in a specific way. Let me explain. You have mutants and Inhumans. These will represent the mutants and the Inhumans. Mutants, Inhumans, they both have a genetic marker in their DNA that when exposed to, well, when the Inhuman gene is, it's not called a gene, it's just extra DNA marker within the entire sequence of a DNA strand. And when it's exposed to something called Terrigen Mist, it evolves the person, and they become an Inhuman with an ability that no other Inhuman has. For example, you can have someone with electricity powers, but not many other people will have that same power. Whereas X-Men, their genetic makeup has an extra gene, or the X gene, and they have that at birth. And then when they go through puberty or a very intense, stressful moment in their life, their power activates and they are stuck with it. Same with the Inhumans, though. There is no cure for either being a mutant or an Inhuman. And Inhumans have a place that they can just leave normal society and go and celebrate their powers and be with other Inhumans, called Atalan, that is run by Black Bolt and Medusa. And then on the mutant side, you have Genosha. So, like I said, the two factions, I guess, for lack of a better word, they're very similar. But I still would like to have some Inhuman representation, mainly because of one specific character. In case you can't tell, that's Daisy Johnson. That's Quake right there. I actually have it signed and everything. Anyhow, oh, you're gonna fall on me, aren't you? Okay, no, we're good. So, yeah, I really like Quake. And yes, I developed that love for the character because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I still think she would be good in this game. And furthermore, we were supposed to get Quake as a DLC character in that Marvel Avengers game that completely fucking flopped like a hot deck with a fish on it. I said that wrong. Flopped harder than a fish on a hot deck. That's what I meant to say. Regardless, it fucking bombed. And when I learned that she was a future DLC character, I was so angry. Because, like I said, she's one of my favorite characters. And unless it's Marvel Heroes or a mobile game, like Marvel Strike Force, I don't get to play as her very often. And it makes me upset. But, yeah, I want a Secret Warriors team, and I want Quake to be the leader of that team. However, the team that I chose here is taking characters from the Marvel Rising TV show. The one where it had them as, like, young adults or teenagers, and it had characters like the Patriot, Squirrel Girl, Ghost Spider, Inferno, other characters like that. America Chavez was also in that, which now that I think about it, could fit. Because what I have here is I have Quake as the leader, I have Squirrel Girl, I have the Patriot, and I have Ghost Spider, aka Spider-Gwen. But you could very easily just have a full female team, take the Patriot out, and put America Chavez in that spot instead. I don't know. I just want Quake in the game. I don't really care if the others are in there or not. I'm just hoping that eventually somewhere down the line, maybe Quake will be playable in Marvel Rivals, and then I will play as her until I get her to max level, because I just love the character so much. And anyway, we are moving on to the next team. I have 3 teams full of mutants, because I don't think 3 technically, is enough. I feel like there should be a lot more mutants. And like, you could have switched the danger. I know Danger Room is an interesting concept, don't get me wrong. Like taking the Danger Room AI and creating a body for it, but like, it could have been Colossus, it could have been Nightcrawler, it could have been any other mutant that is in the X-Men. Hell, it could have been Morph. I would have been happy with Morph being the 4th member of that X-Men team. I mean, think about it. Storm, Magic, Wolverine, and Morph. I think that would be cool. But we got the Danger Room instead. So, the first team of the mutants, I have the Uncanny X-Men. I know the Unbeatable X-Men is the team in the base roster, but the Uncanny X-Men is just characters I want in the game, and that's Cyclops, Rogue, Gambit, and Nightcrawler. Now, I know that Cyclops and Gambit have already been in a Marvel fighting game before. They were in Marvel 2. They were also in Marvel Superheroes, I believe. They've been in a couple, and I can't remember if Rogue has ever been in one. I remember seeing a pixel art of her on a fight stage against Juggernaut, but I don't know if that was a Mugen fight or if that was actually her from like Marvel Superheroes or something like that. But anyway, the next team I have here is the Brotherhood of Mutants, because we need more villains in the game. I say that for Marvel, like recently Marvel has been, releasing these amazing games, but they've released more heroes than they have villains. Like, we need more villains, and we only have one team in base roster that has a team of full-on villains. But the Brotherhood of Mutants is not led by Magneto because he's in the Knights of Doom, but I just want her in the game. I don't know if she will be, and she has no reason leading this team, but I put Emma Frost as the first person of the team of Brotherhood of Mutants. Then After that, I did Quicksilver, Juggernaut, and Sabretooth. Quicksilver could have a lot of moves like the Flash from Injustice 1 and 2. I think that would be very cool. Juggernaut, of course, has been in a fighting game before with Marvel 2. But I still would like to see him in a new format. I think Juggernaut is a very cool and very terrifying X-Men villain. And then Sabretooth, I just want Sabretooth to fight Wolverine in a fighting game again, because it's been a long time. The next team I have is a team that I created completely from scratch, and it was taking 3 characters that have never been in a fighting game before, and one that has in 2, but still think it's a good addition. I named this team Mystic Warriors, which comprises of Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Moon Knight, and Shang-Chi. Now, that right there, Shang-Chi, that is the reason why I didn't put Iron Fist in the Defenders, because the two of them are similar. Not too similar. They each, in their own respective rights, have their own abilities. Shang-Chi, I feel, just fits better. I don't know. It could be because this is like a very anime style fighting game, so maybe Shang-Chi would fit a little bit better, but Iron Fist also would fit in a Japanese style fighting game, so it's really hard to say. It's really hard to determine whether or not you could have... It would be the similar situation of having Miss Marvel and Reed Richards be in the same game. You have Iron Fist and you have Shang-Chi. How do you make these two masters of martial arts feel different while also being true to their characters? I don't know. I think it would be doable, but I don't know. And going back on my "we need more villains" comment earlier, the next team that I have is the Black Order, which is led by Thanos, who has been in a Marvel fighting game before. But this is just straight up another Knights of Doom team. Just put all the villains together to create an absolute monstrosity that is a team. All the villains. So with Thanos, we have Ultron, Kang, and Apocalypse. I know that Ultron has also been in a fighting game. Kang and Apocalypse have absolutely not. Unless you count Apocalypse in, I can't remember what game it was, but he was a boss battle. I think it was Marvel Superheroes, maybe. But, I don't know. I just, like I said, need more villains, so let's put them on a team together for no reason except for, like, one common goal, like the Knights of Doom. And this is the last team of mutants that I made. It's X-Force. So I put Cable as the leader. I put Bishop, Jubilee, and Psylocke. Now, again, going back to that Miss Marvel, Mr. Fantastic, debate on how to make things different but true to their characters. If Cable and Bishop are too similar, even though their powers are completely different, and I think Bishop would be a badass character to have in a fighting game, you could swap out Bishop with Archangel, and that would still work. But I think I would enjoy Cable and Bishop being on a team better. I literally took this team from that episode of X-Men 97 Season 2. Because it works pretty well. But, yeah, I don't know. I just want to see Cable in a fighting game again. And I would love to see Bishop in one for the first time. We technically got him in the modded version of Marvel vs. Capcom. And he looks good. But I just want an official, an official Bishop in a fighting game. I got 4 more here. So, the next team I have is kind of a comic accurate one, but one character does not fit the mold of this one very well. I call this team the Cosmic Heralds. I might give you a little hint as to what I'm about to say for the characters anyway. The leader of this team, Silver Surfer, Thor, Captain Marvel, and then the Punisher. Now, the reason why I put the Punisher here is because in a comic book run, the Punisher was not only possessed by the spirit of vengeance, but also became a herald of Galactus. And that was the kind of theme that I had going on when making this team. Silver Surfer obviously has, Thor has, and the Punisher has. Captain Marvel, however, has not. But I put her in here anyway because she's a very strong character. She fits the mold of, a flying mobility brawler in a fighting game, and she also has cosmic level powers, so I figured she would fit enough. But I think it would be cool to have those four on a team. You don't have to go the Cosmic Ghost Rider route because Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider is already in there, but it could be a cool skin. But I don't know. There also is, thus far in the game, no fully gun-focused character, and I feel like the Punisher would fit that. The Punisher obviously would fit that very well, but I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. The next team I have here is just strictly Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I feel like that would be a good team. Have Nick Fury be the leader, then you have Mockingbird, which is a kind of underrated character, dated Hawkeye, and she was also in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. You have Black Widow be in there, and I thought of, for the fourth one, Agent Venom. Now, I know Agent Venom is a lot like the Punisher, and it's a symbiote, but it's a symbiote that uses guns, so it could be a little different. I still think that the potential of having Venom in the game is there, but with the way that Carnage was built for attacks and everything, he's doing some Venom level shit with the symbiote. I think that's super cool, and they bulked him up too, because we're used to seeing Carnage as the short and skinny symbiote compared to the big hulking Venom symbiote. But yeah, I mean, if you still want to put Venom in the game, you can do it this way, because as many fans love Carnage, there are a lot more fans that love Venom. So I think it would be a very unique change of pace to still have Venom in the game, but have him as Agent Venom that maybe not a lot of people like. I like the concept, but I don't know. It could be something. Excuse me. Final two here. Going back to what I said, a little more Inhuman representation would not kill the game. I think it would be nice. But this is just straight up an Inhumans team. Black Bolt as leader, Medusa, Crystal, and Karnak, which again is another character that is very good at martial arts. Karnak's ability is he knows how to target specific pressure points when fighting an opponent, and he's a really skilled fighter, so I think that would be kind of unique to see how that would play out in a fighting game, but I don't know how it would be done. And the final team that I have here is the Thunderbolts team. Now, this is a team that has characters from the comics and also characters from the movie. It's one character from the movie, actually. But the leader of the team, we have Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, Songbird, which I think is a very cool character, and a character that hasn't really been used, but kind of fits perfectly as a sort of unknown, but kind of known character. To give you a little brief understanding of who Songbird is, she was a former villain called Screaming Mimi, and she was a part of the Thunderbolts before it became a superhero team. Thunderbolts has always had villains doing work for the government. Basically, Thunderbolts has kind of been like the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad in some issues, but Screaming Mimi wanted to turn things around and actually be a hero, so she became Songbird when she joined the Thunderbolts as a team that was supposed to take down the Avengers, and it was led by Zemo in some issues. That was also the same story as the Thunderbolts versus Avengers in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that animated show. But yeah, she enjoyed being a hero, so she wanted to stay a hero, and she kept the name Songbird. And her ability is she uses her voice to create these psychic constructs, which I think is very cool. It would be like having kind of like a Adam Eve like character in Marvel Tokon, but not quite, not nearly as powerful. The next one I have is Sentry. I think Sentry would be great in this game. It would be another flying character, another super strong character, and I think they could do a really cool thing with the Void and being like a part of it instead of just being like a part of his kit, instead of being like part of his super level 3 animation or whatever. And then the final one I have is Taskmaster. Now, I know Taskmaster was in Marvel 3, and I kind of like what they did with him, kind of didn't. I feel like they could do a little bit more with Taskmaster. And I'm not talking about the MCU one. Oh, no. That one was written terribly, unfortunately. But hopefully we will see a better Taskmaster in the future of the MCU. But yeah, if all of these characters that I have now listed, if they all come to pass and it all happens, I listed off 12 teams. So in total, the roster would have 68 characters. So I don't think it's going to be that much, but I still think there is a lot of potential for there being a lot of DLC characters, especially if they do it like Season 1, here's the Fantastic Four, Season 2, here's the Defenders, you know, stuff like that. And because I don't see the future of this game releasing one character, then another, then another, then another, and that forms the team. I feel like they would release all 4 as a team together. But I don't know. Like I said, if the Fantastic Four gets announced that they're going to be the first DLC characters, I'll buy the game on the spot. I want to play as the 4 of them in a fighting game just once. Because like the last time that I played as them in a video game of any kind, aside from Marvel Rivals, was Ultimate Alliance 2. Way back in the day. Which, God, I miss those games. I wish I could play them right now. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. No, they were in not Marvel. They were in Ultimate Alliance 3. I forgot about that. They were DLC characters. So, but still, it was a long time ago. And I also really want to play as Quake. She's awesome. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my, I guess, character wish lists. My characters wish list for future DLC for Marvel Tokon. Let me know what you thought, if I hit, if I missed, if I am dumb. Maybe not the last part. But yeah, that's all I got. I do hope you did enjoy this video. If you want more, you know, content like this, like me talking to the camera and talking about different things, let me know. I'll think about it. because I feel like I'm stepping back into an uncomfortable zone, because it's been a long time since I've spoken on camera. But yeah, let me know. Like, subscribe, click the bell icon to get notified when I upload videos. And with all that being said, I will see you mother cluckers in the next video. Bye-bye.